Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 3. So this is going to be my review for episode 16, otherwise entitled Into the Speed Force. But before we go ahead, there will be spoilers within this review. A decent amount happened in this episode, so yeah, make sure you've watched the episode before you watch the rest of this video. So obviously, at the end of last episode, we saw Savitar. Basically, it all come to a head where he's baited Wally into essentially releasing him from the Speed Force and in turn trapping Wally in the Speed Force because there needs to be someone in that Speed Force prison, which we know that future Barry has set up. So that basically just sets up the rest of this episode, so yeah, pretty easy to explain there. In regards to this episode, I really did like the beginning where HR once again sort of surprised everyone by coming up with the idea to keep a hold of Barry in the Speed Force by creating a tether. It is funny when like Cisco is doubting HR and then HR just says, comes up with the idea and Cisco has to think to himself for a second and he's like, damn it, this dude got it right. HR actually references the negative world, which is a thing from the comics. It's from some other stuff, like it's not a massive thing. Like different properties have a negative world or like a, something like that. I think they even reference Mario as well, but it is also a thing from DC Comics as well. Like there's little stories that do involve a negative world. Now, was I the only one that was very surprised by how the Speed Force looked this time around? Because if you remember last season when we went into the Speed Force with the Kevin Smith episode, it was very light and vibrant. It looked like, obviously, it was a replica of Barry's childhood home. Very vibrant and light, as I said. This time around, pretty creepy. They definitely went for the almost like the horror factor. It definitely wasn't welcoming. But as we saw last season, where the Speed Force took the form of like Barry's mother, Barry's father, Iris and Joe, we saw the Speed Force take the form of Eddie, Ronnie and Captain Cold or Leonard Snart. Obviously we did see Iris, Joe and Caitlin as well, but they didn't really talk. But essentially all these people are people that sacrificed themselves for Barry. In the case of Captain Cold, he sacrificed himself after what Barry had told him, so they were basically pretty similar. But essentially the Speed Force was upset about Barry and really doing this to him due to what he did last season, because last season they gave him back his powers because he came to terms with his mother's death. But then obviously at the end of last season he caused Flashpoint because he wanted his mother to be alive, so he sort of went against what he told the Speed Force and what he had promised the Speed Force. But I think it was really well done this time around. It was really cool to see both Eddie, Ronnie and Captain Cold back, even though we are seeing Captain Cold on Legends as well. We've also seen him earlier this season on Flash, but it's just awesome to see these old characters back that we really don't get to see anymore because they're dead. Now, one thing that we did see in the trailer, we didn't get a full look at it, but we did see the hand of this person or thing, and that was Black Flash. So we had a Black Flash versus Flash fight. It looked much better this time around. Like Black Flash on Legends looked not very good. His CGI was pretty bad. It might have been like short notice and they really couldn't do too much with it, but on Flash he looked much better. If you go back and watch both episodes or even look up the clips on YouTube later and watch them side to side, you can tell on Flash it looks much better, this version of the Black Flash. Obviously you see Barry put his tether thing on Black Flash and he explodes. Black Flash isn't dead. This was like a recreation of the Speed Force, because if Black Flash had touched Barry just with a fingertip, he would have died straight away. So that's not the real Black Flash. That was just like a creation of the Speed Force, like how we got with Captain Cold, Ronnie and Eddie. So he still exists. Don't get worried. Don't type in the comments, oh my god, they killed Black Flash after like a minute of him being on the show. It was just a creation of the Speed Force. But it was awesome to see him, and hopefully we see him again this season, because he's a cool character to have around. Now, as we heard at the beginning of the episode, and they sort of hinted at, I think, in the trailer for this episode, Wally was stuck in the Speed Force prison, which Savitar was trapped in after Barry, or future Barry might I say, created it for him. Now, what Wally was doing in there, he was just like in a temporal loop, reliving his mother's death over and over and over and over again, which would have just been mentally killing him. And we see even when Wally gets out, you can still, he's damaged from that. That's messed with his mind, just constantly seeing his mother die in front of him over and over and over again. He's just not going to stop reliving that moment now that he's out of the Speed Force. He's going to have nightmares about that. He's just going to be constantly thinking about that. Now, there was no hint of this in the trailer for this episode, but I did do a video like a while ago about some like set footage, and it was Jesse Quick versus Savitar. It was a quick, maybe pun intended there, fight, but pretty damn sick. But the big thing that gets revealed here is that Savitar can feel pain. Like, he's got all the armor around, but he does have little gaps there because he needs to move freely because he's running. Jesse's able to stab him with his own little like blade thing, and he feels pain. Like, he's feeling it pretty bad. It's not like a, oh, that sort of hurt. It was like a massive scream. So it's basically revealed that Savitar is just a man. It's got to be hard for them to make sense of that because the way Savitar looks like when he opens his mouth, it's all metal. So I don't know how they're going to explain that. It will be interesting what happens there. Unless he is just a man under there, like he transforms into this metal thing, but he can still feel the pain as if he's just a man. That's why he has all this armor. I don't know, they're going to have to explain it pretty damn well because it doesn't look like he's a man. Otherwise it would be way too obvious. But they're really getting close to revealing what is going on with Savitar, who he is, when did he come from, who becomes him. So it's exciting, but we're probably going to have to wait a couple more episodes for that to actually happen. I guess one of the coolest part of the episodes was having Garrick come to the rescue. They had like a nice reference to the Golden Age. I think it was Captain Cole that said it. And yeah, it was just awesome to have Barry, Jay, and Wally on screen together when they go into that room where Wally's sort of imprisoned. Now, obviously, as I said, Wally replaced Savitar, so someone's going to have to replace Wally. And unfortunately, Jay took that role, I guess, and that's why he was essentially there, because he knew Wally had to be taken out. So Jay's in there. He's not going to be in there for long, I don't think. I think it might be similar to like the Man in the Mask. Like, it might be in the season finale when he gets out of there, but he might get out earlier. This could hint that maybe future Barry does appear, and future Barry is like the one that breaks the Speed Force prison and makes it non-existent, because I don't know if they're going to be able to just chuck Savitar back in there. They might actually have to kill Savitar, and then, you know, future Barry might have to just get rid of the Speed Force prison as a whole so Jay can get out. But they could do it multiple ways. They could just chuck Savitar back in there and now it comes Jay, or it's just completely destroyed. Now, one thing I wasn't really expecting was Jessie going to Earth 3, not Earth 2. I thought if she was going to leave Earth 1, she would just go back home. But because Jay is now back in that prison, unfortunately, she's going to have to go over there and protect it. One thing that didn't really get sort of explained is, has she told her own dad that she's going to Earth 3? Because what if he comes over to Earth 1's like, hey, I've just come to visit Jessie, just, you know, day trip. Oh, she's on another Earth? That's great. No one told me. I'm disappointed we actually didn't go to Earth 3, because when Jay came in, he did say that Cisco had come to Earth 3 to warn him, but then I guess it wouldn't have been too much of a surprise when Jay came in to protect Barry from Captain Cold. But yeah, we haven't really seen Earth 3 that much. We've seen like one little part of it, so I would like half an episode over on Earth 3. It would be pretty nice to see. Now, is this like the 5th or 6th episode in a row we finished off with a West Allen scene? Like, it's starting to get a bit repetitive and just a bit boring watching it over and over and over again. But anyway, we find out that Barry and Iris are actually taking a break, and it's basically just for drama. Like, there's really, I guess you could say, yeah, it's because Barry wants to do what he wants. He needs the future to play out, just embrace the future, as he says. But it's basically for drama, and we'll see the next couple of episodes where there's like tension between them too. So it's CW, they have to have that drama aspect, and yeah, that's basically what this is for. But overall, I thought this was a really fun episode. Essentially, it was just prison break, Speed Force style. Get Wally out of prison, obviously Jay had to go in, but they did get a bit more of a reveal of what's going on with Savitar, and it's going to take probably a few episodes before they realise what's fully going on with him, now that they know that he can feel pain like a normal man. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like on it. Let me know in the comments section down below, what did you think of this episode? Did you like it? What was your favourite part in it? How do you think they're going to get Jay out of the Speed Force prison? Do you think they're going to chuck Savitar back in there? Or do you think like future Barry might appear and they'll tell him to just get rid of the Speed Force prison as a whole, like make it non-existent? Let me know what you think of all of that in the comments section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.